您觉得做访谈之后，跟您之前对他的印象有什么变化吗？
他是个非常直接的人，不难为自己，他应该会有一个比较清晰的定位。其实作为观众，我们希望看到一个明星在我们面前的时候，他就是光彩夺目的。
Hi, so nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
他能够感受到我们的需求，他知道什么样的角度、什么样的光对他是好的。每个人都有自己的职业的尊严和标准，在镜头前面看起来怎样是他职业的一部分，标准不会因为任何一个环境而降低，我觉得是好的。但即便一个演技再高超的人，依然有一些反面的声音。对他来说，作为一个好演员，这是唯一的一个标准。我相信他未必是一生永远情绪饱满、充满自信，和自己的不确定、不自信共存，是人生一个巨大的课题。有一个阶段你会无比自信，会怀疑自己。当你过了50岁，你的体力、记忆力，它一定是不如以前的，会让你很沮丧的。电影是一个梦，我想先做2个小时的梦。
本节目由凤凰网、舍得酒业联合制作播出。
La vie, elle a passé.
La vie, elle a passé.
And it's like we haven't really lived.
Hi, Isabel.
Hello.
So nice to meet
Very
you.
nice to meet you.
Wow. Wow. It's just amazing. I watch you walking alongside those bookshelves, and I thought I was looking at a movie.
Yes, it looks like a movie scenery. It's so beautiful.
"他最近在中国的观众心目当中其实很有分量，而且很热，热度很高。他的美就符合我的审美，他的表演、他的专业是我非常认可和敬佩的。综合种种的条件，我觉得这个人他的丰富程度是我身为女性非常欣赏的，因为我也很想成为这样的女性。I'm in the TV industry, so I'm just curious, what made you decide to take part in this Chinese reality TV show?
I thought it was really interesting to see all these young and sometimes not so young actors and expressing all their hopes and just showing us what they were capable of, and I thought it was really interesting.
Are you used to that kind of atmosphere, because so much different from what you see on the movie?
I think what was really interesting and there was a lot of preparation. You could feel that they all really worked very hard to prepare this. So it was, it was very touching also.
But what would you do if you saw really not so good acting?
I didn't feel like I was a judge, I was just watching and try to appreciate everybody. I enjoyed doing it.
When I knew that I was going to interview you, I just thought to myself, okay, so when did I first come across your name? Which year was that? That was either late 1970s or early 1980s. And you were featured in that article in one of the Chinese movie magazines. Your face was just etched into my brain.
My pleasure, my great pleasure.
Wow. At that time, French movie was just so popular in China.
So that must have been at the time I did The Lace Maker,
Yes.
for which I got Best Actress in Cannes.
If you happen to be in the right place at the right time, and you sort of started your movie career in the year around 1971 at that time.
Yeah.
That year actually was a very vibrant year for the cinematic world.
Yeah, that must be my first participation, yes, in a fiction. And then maybe I did a couple of more televisions with, and then I did a first film with a famous
Faustine in The Beautiful Summer?
Oui, Faustine, but that was a tiny, tiny little
Very
role.
small.
Yeah, but I was very far at this time from the cinema. I started really a few years later.
I have a few numbers to write down, I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
I think it's very interesting.
Okay.
It's been noted that by 2017, so of all the movies you had done before that, you had portrayed 34 mothers, 6 daughters, and being married 21 times.
And divorced?
Played 2 queens. And you have portrayed 5 sex workers, committed 2 murders, and been killed twice.
Oh.
And held 23 different jobs, and got fired once.
Oh
and
my God.
When I mention all those numbers, what do you make of the diversity of the roles you have played?
I was very lucky and privileged to have the possibility to have all this diversity, you know, being married, being dead, being alive, being divorced, being whatever, fired, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It means exploration of all the female complexity in all these roles, and I'm a little bit responsible for it because I've been also looking for these people and looking for these kind of roles and responsible for choosing them.
于佩尔是一个艺术家，毋庸置疑，他始终在工作状态里面坚持做一些自己喜欢的事情。所以人在不同的阶段，就是要根据不同的情况审时度势，不难为自己，找到符合自己就最好的人生的某种解决的方向。我以前一直以为自己可能是那个幸运的少数，可能就是因为你自己足够努力，你有某种小聪明，你可以躲过别的女性会有的那些障碍。但如今你会发现，一个人完全不可能脱离自己的环境和年代，每个人都会有那个年代赋予你的局限性。从近10年前开始，这个时候你突然意识到，哦，天哪！在我成长的过程当中，我都是在以一个男性的视角去看待这个世界。我甚至认为我带有某种的先进性，很多时候我也会很自豪。但现在我才明白，这其实是一个可笑的、幼稚的一个想法。因为一个人，你只有先明白你自己是谁，你要知道你的身份，你要全然的拥抱你的身份。当时的我完全不自知，我意识不到自己是女孩，所以我把它解读为某种被催眠的状态。近些年，首先是大的环境改变了，大家会开始探讨女性主义的话题。身为女性，我该如何获得更公平的权利、更公平的就业、就学的机会？当这一切的声音慢慢开始变得大了时候，你才会通过这些声音来反观自己和反观自己的生活，自己会有成长。当你有一天明白你的身份是女性，你自己先会卸下很多的包袱，这个时候会轻松、更加清晰地明白我的人生的路径。从我的角度，我会觉得我就是一个女性啊，工作是美丽的。但这不是每个人都必须要做到的吧，因人而异。这点上我会非常的认同于佩尔。
Since you mentioned the movie on the lace maker, there was this scene that I was especially felt struck. You know, in that scene, you were led by the guy walking toward the edge of the cliff, while your eyes were just closed, and then you sort of stopped. And only open your eyes, find yourself standing at the very...
Assez. Et un petit quart de tour à droite. Stop. Bon, tu peux ouvrir les yeux maintenant.
Come to think of it, I think that's kind of like a metaphor.
Sure.
To say the kind of relationship you're going to have as an actor with the future directors. You just have to have that kind of radical and sheer faith and belief in each other.
Yes, I always said it's a perfect metaphor for the relationship between an actor, and it happened with all the great directors I've been working with. Because let's take, for example, if you take Elle by Paul Verhoeven, or The Piano Teacher, or by Michael Haneke, or all the films I've been doing with Claude Chabrol. I mean, without Claude Chabrol,
that movie, Violinist, yeah. And how did you get that part, since that movie was going to be your first major role?
That's right. I just got it because at the time there was a book that had been written by a lawyer about Violette Nozier's case. The case was very much put in light when it happened around the 30s, because she had been put in light by the surrealist poet at the time in France, because she was said that she bravely cut the ties with the parents. I mean, she was taken as a poetical figure of rebellion against parents. But then at this time there was a book written about her, and a producer, took interest in that book and bought the rights, and then Chabrol thought about me.
Celui que je destinais à ma mère contenait 12 comprimés. Je l'ai disposé devant elle.
C'est faux. C'est moi qui ai préparé les verres. J'aurais pu aussi bien prendre l'autre. Si je n'avais pas vidé la moitié de mon verre, je serais morte.
Faites entrer Jean Dabin.
It's really inspiring.
It was actually my first major role, but then came Violette, and even more major because I got Best Actress in Cannes.
So I think timing is so important for an individual, for a movie.
That's for sure,
okay?
Yeah.
Emmenez la condamnée.
Ne touchez pas!
我个人认为才华跟运气很重要。很多时候我会觉得生活其实很让人沮丧的一点，就是我觉得我很努力，但其实如果我没有这个才华，或者我即便有了才华，我也很努力，但是我没有那个机会的话，也很难。
现在越来越多的年轻人想躺平。
躺平不是因为他本质的想躺平，是因为我不躺平，我没有更多的机会。如果我每天起床，我必须要去干一份只能够喂饱我自己的工作，得不到特别有尊严的对待，我过的日子捉襟见肘，我可能也会躺平。每个人其实对生活还是有某种渴望的，每个人还是会有职业的荣誉感的。如果你给这个人一个机会，每一个人都会分分钟跳起来，每个人都会愿意不仅站还会愿意跑。我觉得这不是每一个个体的懒惰的选择，只是碰上了一个相对艰难的时期，哪怕你躺着咬牙躺一躺，也许会等到可以让你有冲动再做起来的那个时刻。不同时代的人的不同的机会而已，但是我觉得是暂时的吧，我也相信它是暂时的吧。
Your intuition is going to tell you, okay, this is going to work. Take this script.
Yeah, a lot, sure.
Okay.
I mean, choosing films and choosing what you want to do.
You think that has something to do with intuition?
Doing the right choices relies on intuition. For instance, there was a time I did like 2 or 3 first-time directors' film in a row, and they were all, I have to say, quite good. So it meant that I had the good intuition. It's more difficult to choose a first-time director film than more established director's film, of course, because by definition you don't know what he's capable of, And in these 3 cases, they were all really good films, and also a little. It's always a little risk. You have to take that risk.
And just now you mentioned the movie Heaven's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
I myself quite like that. Back then when it was released, it was not a box office success.
No, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Really a disaster, yeah.
Did you also suffer a little?
Personally, not really, because I was, if I can say so, only a French actress being taken in this huge
Hollywood movie.
It was not really a Hollywood movie. That's exactly what was the problem about it. It was a Hollywood movie in terms of money, because it was very expensive for the time. Even now it would be very expensive. But in terms of artistic expression, it was far from being a Hollywood movie. And the two did not really collide well together, you know what I mean? So that was the problem.
That means you're going to suffer a lot.
Price for my ambition.
So as an actor, you have to be able or be bold enough to take risks all the time.
Well, take the risk not take the risk in the sense of a way, or in the sense it's going to be a success or fail, but just take the risk that the movie is not going to be as good, as elevated as you thought it was going to be. I'm not even talking about public success, but I'm talking about, you know, artistic accomplishment.
Arrêtez-moi! Arrêtez-moi.
Sheila, pourquoi tu t'enfermes?
有些时候你要顺着整个市场走，你要顺着观众的审美走，这是一种你必须要遵守的一个方式。你是要更大的市场，还是要找到属于你的那一部分观众？它某种程度有些时候可能是一个矛盾的。那这种时候，你既需要尊重市场，同时你最终自己也要做一个根据你自己的价值观判断的一个选择。这个选择就是你要什么，取舍是连在一起的。按他这个咖位，如果他想的话，我想好莱坞的一些很大的商业 IP 电影是可以请他去拍的。但是我想他应该会有一个比较清晰的定位。对他来说，作为一个好演员是最重要的，是唯一的一个标准。我就觉得他的所有的选择是很聪明的，他走出了一条自己的路，拍一些其实不是太大制作的、相对艺术性的一些影片，他碰巧扮演的角色好像都能够在当下刺痛某些人的内心，切中这个时代痛点的很多的社会问题。他的事业我觉得某种程度是相对顺遂的，所以这又是属于他的幸运。跟他同期出道的很多的女明星现在都已经基本上主动的或者被动的吸引了，那他依然还活跃在第一线。每个时代可能只会有一两个这样的人，我们应该看到这是一个特例，然后从女性角度可以去欣赏她保持的那种活力。
And also in the movie Madame Bovary, the very last 8 or 9 minutes of the movie, when Emma was dying, you know, she died this really long and painful death. The camera is just so patient, in a kind of long, steady.
I think at that moment you feel all the absurdity and the strength.
We felt like we were gazing at death together with you through the camera. And that was just so powerful. His camera was just so patient.
Oh yes, he was very patient. It's really trusting somebody immensely, and sometimes that's also the strength of cinema, how you say things just by a very simple gesture. Like, he was a fantastic director.
I think it's Claude Chabrol. That was in 2003. Yes.
Because in Spain, when I gave him this award, this Life Achievement Award in San Sebastian Festival. Yeah, that couldn't be a better compliment, of course, coming from him, for sure.
And he went on the stage, he said something like, his films ultimately sort of also became yours. And he thought that you are more like a writer to him than just an actor. Yeah. And I think that's the highest form of compliment.
Sure, oh, of course, it's an honor to hear this. And for me, it's hardly a work, you know, so because it doesn't require, I mean, it's a lot of dedication, it's a lot of obsession, it's a lot of thinking, it's a lot of all that. To look at yourself is a very big part of your life.
How was that like?
When you are an actor, you also like to be an object, and that's the price of it. Combination of the two, but passive also, of course, because you do basically what you are being asked to do, you know, and the director basically says, you do this, you do that, you have to do it, you do it this way, you do it, but within that apparent frame and restraint, which is never a restraint actually, on the contrary, I would say, it gives you so much freedom.
Yeah.
Bob Wilson, because the staging might look like something extremely contriving, because you know the movements, the lights, everything, and yet within that frame you feel completely free even more.
你看一些他的表演，你会瞬间明白， 演技是一个怎样的神奇的存在，就他那种现场感、那种即时感，对于观众来说你无比的满足，就他太有魅力了。作为一个创作者，你都是会很开心，当对方了解并且认可你的工作。她这样一个云淡风轻、见过那么多世界的一个女性创作者来说，其实没有什么问题是能够难倒她。再有就她太丰富了，我对于她的创作者身份，我会非常的认同跟好奇。
我是时间，遇自然奥秘。我是时间，传智慧匠心。我是时间，藏老酒沉韵。未曾舍得，难以懂得。舍得酒，每一瓶都是老酒。
So I try to imagine how you must be working and thinking as an actress. There might be a moment for you every time. You say to yourself, okay, now I know how I'm going to act, how I'm going to move.
Well, I don't think there is a moment, but it's, what you say is quite accurate. I'm not sorry to say it because it's the reality of our job. We've had a lot of steps leading to that moment. The whole process starts very early in the morning and goes on and on and on. And we come to make hair and makeup in the morning and we face ourselves in the mirror for quite some time, you know. And gradually we hair and makeup and our physical appearance to appear to the really significant moment of that process is really when it says action, and that's the strength of what you feel from the camera.
Improvisation?
Not improvisation, it's always improvising. Believing again in the strength of the present time.
Nathalie Sarraute happened to be one of your favorite writers?
I was very close to her and for some time. And when I read her books, I thought, because she never came up with defined descriptions of characters or of persons in her books, and yet everything was so, not carnal, but so vivid and so alive, but without coming up with, you know, she would never say this is the person. She was more talking about states and emotions, let's say states of mind, but never really about characters. And then at some point I took it as I felt close to this way of saying stories. You have to just to think, you know, like a person in your mind and in your body slowly, you know, occupying the territory, your mental territory, and that's for me a kind of preparation. It's all about your imagination. Okay. Because I think we came up with so many interesting things. I feel my inspiration becomes more, you never repeat something that you did before, you know.
我们不是演员，隔行如隔山，我们会凭我们的想象，认为它是怎样的。我们认为演员是应该你非常努力的，或者像那个 Adrien Brody， 就是今年的奥斯卡影帝 Adrien Brody 那样，就我扮演一个人，我把自己饿成那个角色。我想于佩尔可能就是另外一种方法，他的某种天分，还有就是我们接受了他的这张脸，他怎么样演，我们自己已经脑补了很多的大戏，我们会接受。它符合我们这个时代对于表演最高境界的审美。即便一个演技再高超的人，依然有一些反面的声音，也会有人说于佩尔的表演其实就是同样的那样的面孔、那样的表情，他只是在不同的场景当中说不同的台词。你1000个人就有1000种解读跟标准，就取决于你要什么。但是我接受他此刻对于表演的他的表达。其实从小到大，我一直非常抗拒有所谓的榜样，或者我故意的我不要任何的榜样，因为我希望我能够按我自己的意志摸索出我自己的路，这是我特别明确想走的一条路。但是可能人到了一定年纪之后，你会慢慢的放下所有的戒备，是因为内心我足够的有定力了，我明白我会被榜样所激励，但是我不会被任何人所改变。 那在这个阶段，我可以接受我生命当中有一些我认为他的智慧、他的魅力，我愿意去某种程度去审视他、去了解他、去走进他。
Do you like the actress Greta Garbo?
Yeah, she was interesting in the sense that she decided to stop and to disappear.
The reason I mention her is because I think you two have something in common to me. Because when I think of Greta Garbo, I think of the word myth, M-Y-T-H. And when I think of you, I think of the word enigma.
I'm not the best positioned to confirm this, of course. I don't know how to comment this. It's very difficult. All I know is that, yeah, I do think that it's such a complete way of expressing so many things, just acting. So, but of course, there is always, even for myself as a spectator, when I see an actor, it's always very difficult to figure out who is that person behind this fictional person, who is she, who is not she, who's...
It just amazes me how you get to have so much passion for work. And how did you able to do what you do, you know, for all this time and so many movies?
Well, and I even do another play right now. In fact, at some point, I was doing 4 plays at the same moment, because I did Mary Stuart last fall in Korea, and then in December I was doing The Glass Menagerie, and then at the same time I'm touring. Now I'm doing The Cherry Orchard in China, and at the same time I was touring another play which I did in Paris last year, and that's Berenice, staged by a very famous Italian stage director called Romeo Castellucci. And I like kind of navigating between all these 4 works.
So for the time being, your brain is divided into 4 or maybe 5 parts at least.
Exactly.
1 for each play.
Yes, once, you know, I was doing Berenice in Greece recently, so once it was over, I cut, and then I, you know, dedicated myself to The Cherry Orchard.
So never get tired?
Like everybody, sometimes, sure.
So what sustained you to be able to do all this year after year?
Just loving what I do. It's enough to sustain me. You know, so many people, unfortunately, do things just for living or for surviving and not really liking what they do. But me, I think it's such a great privilege to do something that I really love doing. So what can I say?
And love never fades?
Apparently.
Wow.
Because work has passion for me, so it goes both way around.
Okay. And then, come to think of it, what made you to do, well...
As an actress, I had so many opportunities to work abroad with different people, because I always do it with different people, and I navigate between, you know, doing movies and doing theater, and even in the theater, I don't only stay in my country, not even in my, you know, hometown, which is Paris, but I go everywhere with this work, so it makes the energy really alive.
我被他的热情，被他的执着，被他对事业的热爱，对他不断的工作的精神所打动。他的存在告诉我，我也可能会找到某种我的存在的方式。
Actually, I also watched the Glass Menagerie. You know, even though I had no idea what the lines meant because I don't know any French, even though they had Chinese subtitles on both sides of the stage, but still I had no idea because my eyes just followed you around on the stage for like 2 hours. It was amazing.
Pourquoi tu fais ça? Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Quel âge as-tu, Laura?
Aïda Scott? Ici Amanda Wickfield, comment allez-vous, Ida chérie? Une mère abandonnée, une sœur infirme, vieille fille et son travail, ne gâche surtout pas ton plaisir égoïste. Vas-y, vas-y.
I sometimes watch plays and theater in foreign languages myself, and I think that you can express, I mean, you have a different kind of understanding through the body language and the you know, you get something else even without really understanding words. It's very interesting.
After watching The Glass Menagerie, I read a lot about Repo, which is people watch the show and they write down how they thought about how they think about the show, and they all use the same word, lightness, to describe how you move around on the stage.
I think the more you manage to drag a character to yourself, and the more natural you are, and it gives a lot of lightness, yes, to the performance.
Does it ever get scary or challenging sometime?
Yes, all of a sudden you don't know why you forget your lines or your...
What would you do if you somehow happen to forget a line or two?
I don't think that the audience can tell. No, because you forget it for like a couple of seconds and then it goes back right away.
Wow.
Sure, but in that moment you feel that you are really in life. Like in life you don't exactly know, you don't always know that what you are going to say next, and it's the same. So it's nice to, break the habits and break the, the mechanisms, and all of a sudden it becomes very fresh and very, alive.
So if someone like me come up to you and say, Isabelle, I really want to be like you, and what would you say to me or to them?
No, but again, I do something which I really love, but I'm sure you also like what you do. Mm-hmm. So it always depends on, being curious and being always be willing to see more things and never being really afraid of the unknown. I like the unknown, actually. That was really, I think, the base of my energy.
So many movie fans in China, they really adore you. Can you recite a line or two from The Cherry Orchard?
From The Cherry Orchard, my God. It's very nice. It's such a wonderful line. That's a beautiful line, but that's the old servant who said that at the end of the play, and every night all the company is there, standing in the wings, watching this old actor, wonderful, marvelous, Marcel Beausoleil actor, and saying that line, and it resonates very strongly, and I think everybody should carefully listen to it. La vie, elle a passé.
La vie, elle a passé.
And it's like we haven't
really lived.
Really lived. Let's go out and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
你能够看到一个人充满情感的在讲述自己过往的很多的作品，很多的经历，非常坚定地表达自己对于自己所从事的事业的那种热爱，会是一个非常美妙的时刻。于佩尔对我的感召就在于工作是有意义的，工作可以让一个人看起来神采焕发的样子。因为我是他这样的人，所以我会更理解他的生活方式，会更认可他的选择。我看到你看有一个例子是可以这样子的，他更加确信了我一直以来我内心想有的坚持，就是我想一直工作。只要可以的话，你可以一直工作，以自己会的和喜欢的方式，在自己的领域里边，每个人都会绽放的。当一个人特别努力的认真工作的时候，哪怕是个最平凡最普通的工作，在那一刻那个人是有光环的，你就会由内而外的呈现一种我们所渴望的那种青春态的样子。这种青春态不是跟年纪相关的，它就是因为你充满了活力，某种程度自己需要努力跟成长，你也需要跟时代一起推动时代的进步。
Wow, it's so interesting. I have this exact same kind of panda at my house.
Live?
No, of course not. I mean, this toy.
Really?
Yeah, and they want me to give this to you. Yeah, as a souvenir. As a souvenir.
Oh my God, it's so...
Are you going to take it back to Paris?
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you. 谢谢.
Okay, 谢谢.
Now they want to have your autograph and maybe to write something down, something really wise.
Voilà.
So, what did this?
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. 享受人生，于佩尔。Thank you.
Voilà. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.